Do you want to build a better body? Do you want a little bit more muscular endurance? How about some variety? What I did was I put together a few different exercises that you can do on the Total Gym, anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week to get a nice workout along with some cardiovascular exercise. So watch and take some notes. Of Back in Shape with T. I'm Tarashe, and this is the 11th video in our Total Gym Training series. And today I'm going to go for 7 great exercises. These are 7 killer exercises designed to help you put on maximum muscle tone, chisel the body, a great combination of exercises that will work with you in conjunction with a fat loss program, a bodybuilding program, anything that you need. See, what we could do with the Total Gym is actually the exercises for the muscles that we're trying to target. We can really key in on this peak contraction. And you're going to see what I'm talking about as we do some of the movements together. A lot of times these gimmicky machines that they sell you on television have very little to do with the actual science of how the body builds and how the body sculpts. It kind of looks like it's supposed to do what it does, but it doesn't quite do it. It's like the difference between having a chainsaw from a hardware store and a chainsaw from Toys R Us, okay? The difference is one looks like the real deal, the other is the real deal. And trust me, I am a strength training, free weights, Cybex machines, Eagle, Body Master, Paramount. I know them all. I've been doing this since 1995. I know which ones work the best. I felt most of them, particularly in the mid-90s when the gyms had more variety than you could shake a stick at. And that's when I was turned on to the Total Gym, because it was like, damn, this is actually really working. So we're going to do 7 exercises. I'm going to go through 1 set of each one of these exercises. And here's my recommendation. If you're able to do this, I want you to be able to repeat this cycle 3 sets for 10 repetitions. That's a nice workout, and it gives you an opportunity to go take a walk. If you have a stationary bike that you're doing at home, do the stationary bike for 30 minutes. But this particular machine, this apparatus, will give you the opportunity to build a great body, to help you build muscular endurance, and not fall into cardio purgatory. That's exactly what I've talked about before. Many of us, when we're getting in shape, losing weight, we oftentimes will resort to just doing cardio. Now, a lot of people are ordering cardio equipment, particularly in this time of quarantine and pandemic, but they're not focusing on strength training. I'm telling you, if you're getting one of those exercise bikes, and you knew which one I'm talking about with the classes, and if you're getting one of those, you should be getting a Total Gym. No doubt about it. The technology that's out there right now, where people are using screens and cables and everything looks like it's from the Jetsons and what have you, forget about it. Forget about it. It doesn't matter what someone shows you on the screen. The real deal, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in how your bodies and your muscles react when there's the proper time under tension, when you are lined up against resistance, when you're lined up against gravity. What is the muscle really doing at that particular time? And when you use this apparatus, the muscle is working, and peak contraction, it's all it's about. You cannot sculpt your body unless you're doing peak contraction. I think I'm doing too much of a sermon here. So right now, I'm going to turn our attention and we're going to get busy. All right, let's talk about the exercises that we're doing. First is going to be the chest press. I get a nice stretch of the pecs and squeeze. A good maximum contraction, peak contraction at the top, horizontal adduction of the shoulder girdle. Here I'm doing 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, and I'm resting anywhere from 30 seconds up to 90 seconds in between sets. This does get a lot of blood to the chest muscle. It works the anterior deltoid too. Plus I'm getting some ab involvement because of the functional not having a back to it. Bicep. I'm working the long and short head of the biceps here. This is one of the best pieces of equipment that I've ever done for biceps. Inverted upside down. 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Same deal, about 60 seconds rest in between sets. I want to talk about the fact that I'm also losing weight during this entire process. So you guys will see me drop between 5 and 12 pounds throughout this entire series of training. I flip right upside down and I'm doing tricep push down. So in order to not look stringy and lose all kinds of muscle, I'm doing these 7 exercises consistently at least to keep the muscles full and keep the blood pumped and contract those muscles as hard as I can. Again, everything is 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, 30 to 90 seconds rest in between sets. And I'm keeping my stomach pulled in tight here as well while I lie down. This is similar to iron Pilates, which is something I'm into, lifting weights and using the Pilates breathing technique. Check this out, the lat pullover for the upper back. As I stretch back, you'll see as I get deep into the rep scheme how much flexibility I get with this. This is for the lats. This is for the upper back predominantly. The chest is also working and a little bit of the triceps. But this is most certainly a great back exercise. We're still doing 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, about 60 seconds. Rest in between sets, and I'm scooping my belly button in toward the spine. I suck it in. I use this like anybody would use a Pilates apparatus. But this is one of Dorian Yates' favorite exercises, the lat pullover. This Total Gym does a great job in terms of working that move. And another upper back exercise, we talked about this in the last series. This one is the seated row, chest up. I'm pinching and squeezing the shoulder blades back. So I'm getting a maximum contraction once again. And going from one exercise to the other is allowing me to be able to overtrain, or not truly overtrain, but overload the muscle, which is good. The little principle of overload allows us to get some fullness into the muscle as well as endurance. So lat pullover first, and then seated row, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, right to the pull-ups. Same thing, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, about 60 seconds rest in between. That's 3 back exercises back to back. One of the things that I do in my weight loss journey is I'm taking apple cider vinegar twice a day. 2 tablespoons. So 1 tablespoon in the morning with 4 ounces of water, and another tablespoon later with 4 ounces of water. It's very important that you focus on digestive health, so apple cider vinegar is great. Now I'm doing the opposite here. I'm doing inverted presses, upside down push-ups, or a shoulder press, okay? Again, this is totally felt in my deltoids, not in my joints. Still 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, 30 seconds rest in between sets. Another thing that I'm doing consistently during my workouts is I'm taking in about 5 grams of glutamine a day and still taking in about 5 grams of creatine a day because I don't want to get flat. I've done this before. I've gone from 207 to 178 and I looked flat. Here I'm doing a good peak contraction with the pec fly, horizontal adduction of the shoulder girdle. I'm scooping my belly button in toward the spine for stabilization, just like we do in Pilates. Once again, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, just about 1 minute to 90 seconds rest in between sets. And bonus, also the exercises besides those 7 that we just went over, push-ups. The higher up I'm on the bed, the easier it is. So if my hands are up by the T in the Total Gym, it's easier for me to do push-ups. If I bring my hands all the way down to the bottom by the L, it's much harder. Gravity is important. I'm also able to stretch here, but I'm also able to do kind of a plank. It's like a plank on steroids, or the wheel here. Again, I love Pilates, so I like doing things like this because it challenges the core, challenges shoulder stability and lat stability, scapular stability as well. So it's totally functional exercise. 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, and just about 60 seconds rest in between sets. And trust me, another thing that you could do on this, which I love doing, is a hamstring stretch because my hamstrings are so tight. It's still hard for me to touch my toes, so I use the Total Gym apparatus, kind of like a yoga block, to do my stretching. But this is great. I'm scooping my stomach in toward the spine, nice and tight. On this weight loss journey, I'm taking vegetarian meals every other day. So I might have oatmeal for breakfast, tofu, and veggetti, which is basically spaghetti, spiral zucchini for lunch. And for dinner, I might have tofu again. You know, nice and filling with some cauliflower rice one day, protein another. All right, and those are just a few of the incredible exercises that you can do in a total gym. Trust me when I say I tried to choose some really serious, tough exercises that actually get the job done. Biceps, triceps, pecs. I did a couple of core things as the bonus there. This is the real deal. I can tell you, if you're a beginner, this is definitely for you. If you're intermediate, definitely for you. If you're an advanced bodybuilder and you need to do what we call recovery or muscle contraction movement patterns, it's important that you have something like the Total Gym to add it to your repertoire, because there's a real mind-muscle connection there. There's total kinesthetic awareness. Your body, your mind, and the contraction of those muscles are working together in conjunction, and you will get a pump and a feel like you never felt before. So sometimes, to prevent injury, so you don't go too hard, this up and down pattern for the super advanced people, a person like myself, this is right in the wheelhouse where I love bodybuilding for health and fitness. I'm on the weight loss journey. I started off at 190. Today I'm at 181.4. So again, with all the cardio that I'm doing, sometimes I cannot push the heavy weights. I do the heavy weights probably once every 10 days or so at this point right now. So in the interim, instead of being stuck just doing cardio and calling it a day, instead of just doing push-ups and some crunches, I get a full-on variety with this nice apparatus that allows me to do my body weight. And trust me, everything from Pilates movement patterns to bodybuilding movement patterns, this is a perfect apparatus. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.